Hi, guys. Okay, so there's three questions. First question, what qualifies for a step? What is my first step? How do I take my next step? So those are the three that we're going to talk about today and get you guys going more on your dream big. What qualifies for a step? First one that we're going to talk about. So that's anything that moves you in the direction of your fairy tale, your dream, or your reality. So anything at all that gets you going in the direction. So going towards your goals. That can be for health, wealth, or happiness. And then, of course, empowerment of body, mind, and soul. So you guys know that I'm a holistic healer and that I believe in all three. So body, mind, and soul, that you need all three to actually accomplish your transformation for some of you guys, but definitely your dream big, your big goals. So your first step, if you're watching this, then you're already taking your first step. You've already started the journey. Stepping is anything towards your goal. Some of you make a list, you'll write the list down, you'll kind of put every little idea. So some make big fancy lists and some just make little tiny lists. But whatever the list is, it's starting you towards your goal. Now, some of you guys can just see what needs to be done. So it's just pictures in your head and you know what the goal is and you see the path that's laid out in front of you. It's kind of like a dream. You just kind of, everything's in your head and it's like pictures. It's like a movie. It just keeps playing. Then there's some of you guys that just start. Start anything, start anywhere. Doesn't matter where you guys start, you just start doing something. And those usually get things done. Not always maybe in order, but they get things done. Thinking about it. So then there's those of you that just start thinking and you really start to put the whole idea together, and then you put a time and a date to do something by. And then hopefully you do put the time and date, because if you don't, and if you guys are the thinker type, then if you don't have a time and a date, you'll never get to the next step. So make sure that you guys put your time and your date. So why is a plan important? Plans are quite interesting. If you don't have a plan, what happens is let's pretend that you're starting here and your day just kind of goes and there's no rhyme or reason, and it even might go backwards. Now, if this was, let's say, spirit, universe, creator, God, whatever you guys want to call it, listening to you, without a plan, you haven't given permission for any help. So life, again, just goes in whatever direction that the wind decides to blow that day. Now, with a plan, okay, life is ups and downs, and sometimes a little hairier than others. But with a plan, there is a goal. There's an outset here. There's something at the end that's going to happen. And so the ups and the downs, that's human life. We just learn by our goods and our bads. But without the goal, life is hairy and has no plan. So it never ends up where we want without the plan. We need that plan. So how do you take your next step? Now this one here, we've talked about before for some of you guys. Others, this will be new. But how do I take my next step? So that all depends where you are in the process. Now those of you, I'm assuming, kind of know what you want to go for. And if you don't, then don't worry, we're going to go through all 5 steps. Contemplating. So let's say life has been really good and you just want more out of life. There's more to it. And you know that there's more to it. So here you're contemplating and possibly just readjusting. So you're contemplating what to do next, that kind of thing. Did you enjoy whatever happened to you? Maybe the goal you did manifest, but you didn't actually like the outcome as much as you thought, or you hated the outcome totally, so don't want to manifest the same thing. So contemplating or readjusting, it is definitely a step, and it can be an extremely important step. And I'm assuming too, for a few of you guys, this is exactly where you are. You're still in the contemplating, readjusting. Subconscious thought. So those are thoughts in our mind, and they are deep down. Now, subconscious, a reminder, is your heart pumps without you thinking about it. The blood comes in and out, the oxygen you're breathing comes in, your liver's doing everything it's doing, all the organs in your body are doing what they need to do. Subconsciously, meaning you don't actually think about it. All you're doing is just being, and your subconscious mind does it for you. Now, subconscious thought can also be anything to do with these positive and negatives. These emotions, how you felt about something or how you're feeling about something, triggers the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind can also be in dream state. This can also be when you're sleeping, so just before sleep or just waking up, that alpha state, the subconscious mind. Your subconscious thoughts are thoughts that are deep, deep, deep inside of you. They could be even from childhood, from when you were, let's say, 2. Some people actually remember things from the age of 2. Subconscious can also be things that we've heard when we were growing up from parents, teachers, people that we look up to and trust and believe. And it might be their thoughts that we subconsciously pick up or take belief in. And until we have our own conscious thoughts, those subconscious thoughts might control us when they're not even our thoughts. Now, conscious thought is when you know you're thinking about something, that you absolutely know that you're thinking about it. You could be thinking about it many, 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 many times in your mind. Now, none of these will manifest anything by themselves. It's actually impossible. Conscious thought, you'd have to be a pretty enlightened soul to actually know how to consciously manifest something with just thought. Action is actually what gets us to manifest. So action is anything that you're doing, any steps, and we're going to get into action more. So conscious thoughts can be changed. We can do anything with this action, and this action is actually what considers next step. Manifestation, of course, is what most of us are going for. That's what our goal is when we manifest our goal. So it's creating our goal, actually achieving the goal. So when we actually are doing or have or own, that's manifestation. All of these steps add up to manifestation, but then they go back again. So then you manifested. And again, your emotions, positive or negative. By now, you guys should have started your 100 goal list. So writing down anything that you want to achieve before death. Those can be items, houses, cars. They can be trips. They can be any goal or any bucket list. If you've ever seen that movie, it was great. But with it, any goal that you want to achieve. Let's just make sure. So again, 100 goals. Now, if we go back to that squiggles that I had, this 100 goals, once you set this down and you've put it from mind, so from thought to now action to on paper, and those of you guys that can, if you hand write it out instead of typing it out, there is different different chemicals that happen in your mind when you write something in handwriting than if you just type on the computer. They've actually have proven that there's a chemical shift. Your mind, because it has to think differently when it's holding that pen than when it types, these goals go into your subconscious even more.